Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's Jody from Growing Book by Book, and I am so excited that you are joining us tonight because we have a special treat. We have Amanda from the Educator's Spin on It with her brand new book out today, 100 Fun and Easy Learning Games for Kids. But before we get started, we want to do a quick mic check. So those of you who are just joining in with us, if you can hear us well, and I'm going to let Amanda say hi too, so we can just do a quick check. And if you can let me know that you can hear us well, that would be great. So hello, Amanda.
Hi, thank you so much, Jody, for having me on Growing Book by Book. I follow along in your blog for, gosh, how many years has it been?
It will be 5 years in August.
Right? Crazy. How awesome is that? That 5 years of like reading adventures. And I'd love for anybody that's listening in to let us know in the comments below how old your kids are, or the kids you babysit, or the kids in your classroom are, so that maybe we could even help. We're going to be talking about some reading games, and we can both give you some great game adaptations that may be more suited to the ages that you have in your home.
Yes, and Vanessa from Pre-K Pages is here. Vanessa, can you help us out? Can you hear both of us okay? We're trying to do a quick mic check before we get started to make sure everybody can hear us well. Waiting. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And like I said, if you can't hear us, chime in and I'll try and adjust the mics. That was our little technical difficulty. Vanessa can hear us well. Okay, all right. We are going to get started. So as many of you know, I have a background in education. I was an elementary teacher, national board certified teacher, and also have a reading master's degree. And so does our special guest, Amanda. So we have a kind of a common background. But Amanda, tell us a little bit about the ages of the kids that you worked with and the ages of your own kids.
Well, I actually have a 3-year-old. I have to remember. It's nighttime and I'm on like the tired mom stage. I have a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 9-year-old who is almost 10. And I am K-12 Reading Master Certified. I started off teaching middle school for a year. And then I went right down to kindergarten and I totally found my love. I have done first grade and Title I also. So I love the stages where they're just starting to learn how to read and how to write. It's my favorite.
I agree. That's my favorite too. And I did 1 year in middle school also and went right back to elementary. So I'm right there with you. So tonight we're going to talk about Amanda and Kim's book that just came out today. And so I got my review copy yesterday and my kids were in the backyard playing in the sprinkler. So I got to page through every last single page, which was fantastic. And I loved it so much that today I bought a second copy. So I'm going to gift one copy to our local library because I think the parents will absolutely love it and the teachers. So we're going to dive in tonight a little bit about all the great activities that are in there. There are so many reading and writing activities that I think that the Growing Book by Book readers will be super excited about. So first of all, Kim, you're not Kim, but Kim did write the book with Amanda. How did you get the idea for this book, Amanda?
Well, see, Kim, actually, we live very close to each other, and our oldest girls are 2 weeks apart, and we actually used to teach at the same school. So I was in first grade and she was in kindergarten, and then we both found out we were pregnant, and we actually happened to meet when we were getting our glucose screening. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes. Drink it with a straw is what I recommend.
Right. So we've had this long experience, and I ended up working when my daughter was first born for the year, and then ever since then I've been a stay-at-home mom. And so just because as a teacher, my brain is always spinning and thinking about, okay, how could I change this and make it educational? And so we would invite a whole bunch of friends over to either our house or the park, and we started having weekly play dates with a little bit of an educational spin. So like we would have a teddy bear play date, and somebody would bring a teddy bear little literacy game, and someone would bring a teddy bear math activity, and then the kids would rotate through. And we did this, gosh, for like maybe 3 or 4 years. And then we decided, okay, our brains are full of all this great stuff. We should start a blog and start sharing. And so we did that. And our goal has always been to write a book together. And so, woohoo, we did. Right? It's so much fun though it's not like it takes a year to publish a book, like to write and to photograph and to have it go through the editing stages. But really this book has been many years in the making.
It is. You guys did a fantastic job. And one of the things that I love about it so much is it's almost like looking at a magazine, because there are so many pictures in it. And for someone who's very visual like me, seeing the pictures, I can very quickly say, oh, that looks like an awesome activity that we could do today. And all of these activities you could do the day of, but you don't have to go out and run and buy a lot of different little pieces and parts to do it. So that's one of the great pluses of this book. So this book is not just reading and writing activities, although there are lots and lots of them. So can you tell me, with the reading and writing activities, what are some of the focus skills that those games cover? Because I know that the book is kind of geared for early childhood. So we're talking like ages 3 to 7, 3 to 8, is that right?
Yes, well, my daughter was 8 at the time when we were writing it. So it's a lot for, parents and teachers like me who may have kids of multiple levels or sibling groups, because every single one of these games, all 3 of my kids could do one of the adaptations for. And so like my daughter has her favorite book or games in the book, which I'll show you in just a minute. But you asked kind of what age?
Well, yeah, the age, early childhood, 3 to 7, 3 to 8, is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly the age of my kids.
Perfect.
Yep, all of them. And they can play all the games in separate ways.
Okay. And what are some of the different focus skill areas that the games cover for in the reading and writing categories?
Oh, well, I was in math. I'll go back to reading and writing.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, so
like you.
Yeah, as long as it's with reading, right? Well, what we did was we looked at the standards across the United States for preschool and kindergarten. And then we created learning games using household materials to meet those learning standards. So at the very, very beginning of the book, there's actually a list. And I think if you go to the Amazon preview, have you been there? Like when you go, maybe you can put a link in the comments. Mm-hmm. And so you can actually see in the preview on Amazon, it'll show you the list of the standards that, it's a long list. I don't know if you can even see it.
Lots and lots.
Like says letters in alphabetical order, rhymes words, identifies parts of a book, knows beginning concepts of print, blends sounds together to make words, blends and isolates syllables in words, identifies basic sight words, are just a few of the reading ones. So we really wanted to make sure that a teacher could use this in their classroom, or the question that we're most commonly asked by our friends is, my child's teacher says, I need to teach them this at home to kind of reinforce the skill. And how do I do that? And so a lot of these games are great ways that parents can reinforce those academic concepts that a teacher maybe asks them to do. Like this great game. It's all about family photo word puzzles. And so it's a way that you can combine your family photographs of either a vacation or a sibling or a pet or yourself. and connect words and let the kids build words with them.
And I see a picture there of Kim, your co-author, who's joining us on Facebook Live right now. She's watching us. Hello, Kim.
Okay, now that Kim's here, I should find all the other pictures of her.
You know, I did count that there are more pictures of Kim in the book than there are of you, Amanda.
No way.
I didn't do a count, but I do remember seeing Kim quite often in there. And I don't, is there even a picture of you besides in the back of the book?
Yes, I'm flipping through my pages right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am on page 195 with two of my children.
Oh, okay.
But see, I had long hair. So maybe you didn't know it was
me. To show how long it takes a book to go from start to finish and how much you can change in that time.
Right.
All right, so let's talk about, so one of my favorite games that's in the book, and it's one that I featured on Growing Book by Book yesterday, was the Muffin Tin syllable counting game. I'm all about Muffin Tin games. So this one was super fun, and I loved that it works on developing phonological awareness. So you wanna tell us a little bit about that game?
Yes, so this game is super easy because really the only thing you need is a muffin tin. And I realized, Jody, that I baked muffins today. So I had to quick wash my muffin tin before I came on. So just, if there's some spots, it was because I was doing a quick rinse. So anyways, you just need that, a piece of paper, scissors, and a marker of some sort. And so that's totally the teacher in me, and I'll have to ask you, Jody, when you were doing this game, did you just take the page and then fold it and then cut once?
Well, see, I cheated a little bit because I have a Cricut machine, so I can make circles really easy, so I don't have to do the whole paper and scissors thing anymore.
That's what I think of that. Anyways, I just do that. I don't have a nice fancy Cricut machine. I have my nice little kid scissors because who can ever find their grown-up scissors? Not me. Anyways, I wouldn't recommend you use a permanent marker because it leaks through. If I just use computer paper because it's always what I have on hand. Tagboard, of course, will last longer. But who knows the name of a 2-syllable object that I can quickly draw?
All right, Vanessa and Kim, you're on. We need a 2-syllable object for Amanda to draw. Quick, quick, quick.
Yep. Okay.
They're thinking. I'm waiting. Leave a comment. Give us a 2-syllable word. One that Amanda can draw.
That's not saying much.
Everybody's racking their brain.
Well, and this is actually exactly what I would do with my kids, because if you come up with it, then it's not as meaningful. Whereas if you let the kids come up with it, it makes it more meaningful. Okay, she says rock.
The kids love to stump the teacher.
Rainbow. Oh, Thank you, Kim.
Vanessa says it's past your bedtime. Kim's giving us rainbow, so let's go with rainbow.
Okay, that was way easy. Thank you, Kim. Okay,
thanks for using white rainbow, Amanda.
Thank you, Kim. Vanessa's like, oh yeah, rainbow sounds good. So anyways, I wouldn't use permanent marker because it goes through. I'm just showing you because crayon and pencil doesn't show well. So I'd have the kids draw a picture of a rainbow, and then if you want to make it a self-checking game, you will, rainbow would be 2. So I would make 2 dots. Again, I would usually use yellow or like a light green on the back so they can't see through.
Yeah, a highlighter would be great for that.
Yeah. So rainbow would have 2 dots on the back. Snake would have, come on, Jody.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the comments, but Kim are chatting back and forth about their bedtime. So sorry, I was distracted for a moment.
Okay, snake would have
1.
1, thank you. I'm still distracted. Okay, Vanessa says flower. Anyone have a 3-syllable object? Come on.
3 syllables. This is like test the adult night.
You guys, this is early childhood. Okay, flower, you would do 2 syllables. And guys, this doesn't have to be Pinterest worthy. It doesn't have to be like a magazine. You can have their kids draw them. They can make their own games for their friends. Dinosaur. Thank you very much, Vanessa, because now I have to draw it. All right, she gives me. Okay, how do you like my dinosaur? It's
That's
beautiful,
good.
huh? So dinosaur, 3. So I would do self-checking and I would leave them 3 spots. So what happens is you put them into your muffin tin and then you let the kids say the word and put buttons into each muffin tin to represent how many syllables they have. Then they can self-check to see if they got it right. What's great about this one is you can make a set of them, put them in a baggie, and then have them make another set the next day and rotate between them. How did you do it, Jody?
Well, we did it that way because that's something that we've been working on. But I really liked one of your ideas too for one of the variations. So the neat thing, one of the many neat things in this book is that there's variations for each of the games. And one of the variations you had was to take a storybook that you were reading and then use words from that story. So you're working on the comprehension piece and working on vocabulary from the story and playing the same game, playing the syllable game, but using words from a story. So like for the example for corduroy, you could use escalator, corduroy, Lisa, use words from the story, which I thought was a brilliant idea. So that was one way that we did it too, was words from just a story that we had read.
And if you have older ones too, like my kids love the National Geographic readers. I'm not sure, you probably have a million too. But what I like about them is they're not too overwhelming. And so you could do the same thing and you don't necessarily have to draw a picture. You could do the words and then have them do the syllable on the back, or even have a definition on the back for an older kid. So like if you're learning about the anaconda, you could write the anaconda on the front and then fact about the anaconda on the back and see if the older kids remember that stuff. So there's lots of ways that you can spin it using books.
And you can also, I think, use it as a fine motor activity too. So when you're putting the buttons into the tin, or if you're using little pom-pom balls, to use the tweezers if you have a child who also needs to work on fine motor skills. So you could be doing 2 skills at the same time too.
I like the activities that do the double work and that it can be used over and over again. So I'm in a group with a lot of preschool teachers, and a lot of them were asking too, like, how do we do the games on a specific theme? I guess summertime learning is a lot of thematic learning. And so I was thinking, well, really, any of the reading games or any of the writing games could be changed into a theme. For example, and I just went, and I'll have these up on the blog, the educator spin on it under Muffin Tin game printables. And so this one, I just pre-made them. And so a parent or teacher could print them off. And it is about the theme of like a beach day.
That's a great idea. And I love, because you could have, you know, for a center during the school year or the summer or whenever your theme changes. I love that idea. Just change out the images, the game and the rules stay the same. That's an awesome idea.
Right, because then it gives the kids repeated exposure to the same concept through a variety of themes. So for example, this one might be used for a zoo theme. You know, parrot would be 2 syllables. Now, I did put a farm one in because I know most kindergarten and preschool classrooms all do the farm. I mean, I take my kids to our living farm, but I'm going to tell you, almost every single farm is 1 syllable. I did not realize that before. So it is also something though that hopefully your kids will start to notice, like, wait a second, I'm only putting 1 button in each of these. And I was like, hey, goose, goat, sheep.
Wow, I never thought of that. That's true.
I'm an adult. I never thought about that. You learn something
Baby
new.
animals like duckling.
Oh, that would be cute though, doing a mama and baby. There's so many possibilities with the games, and that's why when Kim and I were writing the book, we wanted to make sure that anybody could pick it up. Anybody didn't have to run to the store. You could literally just grab it, flip to a page, and say, I'm going to do this today with my kid.
And Kim just suggested if you were doing one with a beach theme, that you could use little seashells as your counters for the number of syllables.
Yeah, or beads, pennies. If you don't have buttons on hand, couldn't find mine today, we substituted pennies.
That works. So tell us some of your other favorite reading and writing games from the book.
Okay, well, I know that I like things that are super, super easy. So I'm going to share one of them that my kids got giggling, and it's called Fluttering Butterflies. You told me the page earlier, 46?
46, I think.
Okay, so if you have the book, you can turn to 46.
Yes, page 46, Fluttering Butterflies.
She's got it. So the reason this one's great is if you have leftover tissue paper, let's say you had a birthday party, all you need is this super tiny piece. That's it. Okay. Now, if you don't have this, not that we've done it before, you can use part of a napkin or even paper towel if you don't have tissue paper on hand. So you take it and you twist it, which brings in a little bit of fine motor, and you have your butterfly. So we're going to go with, okay, Kim's talking. I can't even read. Kim, you're giving out great ideas. Let's figure out the word cat, because we all know that's a CBC word. Consonant, vowel, consonant. It's for the youngest learners to help separate sounds, okay? So in the book, we're focusing on the middle sounds, okay? Because the first stage in hearing sounds is most kids hear the beginning sound, right? So if you say the word is cat, what does cat start with? We all say k, starts with the sound k, cat, right? The next sound that children begin to isolate is the ending. So cat ends with the sound t, right? But the middle gets tricky, right? Even my 6-year-old has a lot of trouble with the middle sound. And so that's why I created this game for him. Although my 9-year-old actually really likes this one too. So you say the name of the word cat and you throw your butterfly in the air. And the key is to catch it on the middle sound. Okay? So if I say cat, I'm gonna have to say it slow. Ah! Can you see how the kids are running all around? Cat. Cat. Okay. Sheep. I'm going to throw the word sheep up in the air. Sheep. Okay. So the key is don't catch it on the beginning or the end sound. Catch it on the middle. And so we're training them to listen for all the sounds in the words, not just the beginning or the end. And it can get a little silly. So don't plan it like right before nap time.
I love it. And I love that it focused. You're so absolutely right about those middle sounds are the trickiest ones to isolate. So that is an awesome game for that. And it really stretches out the word. That's fantastic. And that one there wasn't a picture in the book, so I appreciate the visual that you gave us.
Well, I think it's hard because a lot of the games just require recyclables. And recyclables are easy for us, but they're honestly not, like, we all know how to do this. It's a tissue paper twisted into a butterfly. It's a classic craft, but we're taking our own spin on it to play a game that really is focusing on listening, which will in turn help them with reading, and it'll also help them with writing. Plus, it's fun. And if you're I have, my oldest is in glasses, and has been in glasses since 1.5. So throwing something up in the air and catching it is actually great for hand and eye coordination because this does not have a regular trajectory. And so having to follow and catch it is great for vision tracking too.
And Shauna from Fantastic Fun and Learning is with us, and she says it's great for incorporating movement too, which is absolutely what little ones need anyway, is lots of movement. So, I mean, that is pretty, I have 2 little active boys, so that's pretty much how we do all our learning through movement. So I know this one will be a big hit with us.
And you could say that these are airplanes or butterflies or kites, you know, anything in the sky. Like we're saying is, if you have a particular theme, like farm, how could you spin this into something that's farm related? Maybe it's the fly that's landing on the pig that, or the cow that swats away, you know, shoe fly. And then you're changing this to a new game, but really it's the same game because our kids need repetition.
Absolutely. All right. Do you have another one you can share with us?
Okay. So the next one requires absolutely nothing. Okay. And it is a game that we play in the car at least 2 times a week. Okay. So if you are listening, we're going to need your help. Okay. In the car with my kids, I would play it with no paper because I'm trying to get them to think about parts of a sentence. So I might say, since we're on the farm idea, I see a pig. Okay. If you are watching live, comment below one way that you would make the sentence longer. Okay. So orally, I would say, I see a pig. Sometimes I'll start it. Sometimes I'll have the kids start it. I'm waiting to see if anybody below.
Help us out, listeners.
If not, I'll make Jody. So if our sentence is, I see a pig, you could change or add one thing.
Can it just be one word or can it be a phrase?
Okay, there, Vanessa added a phrase. I see a pig in the mud. So now my turn is over. I say the sentence out loud. I see a pig in the mud. Now, Jody, you have to remember the sentence and make it longer, but you can't change any of the words that are already there. Okay, so what's your sentence, Jody?
I see a pig in the mud rolling around.
Okay. So now it comes back to me. Really only works if there's about 3 kids, up to 5. So Jody said, I see a pig in the mud rolling around. Oh, I got this one. I see a black pig in the mud rolling around. Okay, you see how you can play it any place, anywhere. Jody, do you remember what that is, and can you make it longer?
Let's see. You know, it is getting late. I see a dirty, smelly black pig rolling in the mud, rolling around.
Yes. So that's really what it is. And then the next person would start the next thing. And so when we can't remember the length of the sentence is when the game ends. So you can play this at the park. You know, you could say, I am sliding. How can you make the sentence longer? You know, you could, I am sliding fast. So you're really trying to get kids to think about word choice and what makes the sentence.
Amanda, I'm going to stop you for a second. I think we got cut off from Facebook.
I just saw that too.
Yeah, I think it just totally disappeared.
Did it stop for you?
It did stop, and my screen totally went blank. And now it's just spinning. Aw, we were having such a good time.
Right. Hey, you know what? Oh. We had some people. I see a dirty, smelly pig in the mud rolling around with a cow. She attacked you. You know what, though? I think we're about going to wrap it up, right?
We were. And I think if we tried to jump back on now, it would just confuse people.
Again.
I'll go in and leave a comment though. Facebook kicked us off. We were having too much fun. And
it got dirty.
It's right. It got too dirty and they kicked us off. That's awesome.
Oh, now Jody, are you doing this every Tuesday night?
Every Tuesday, well, almost every Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Good for you.
Or 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Right? Well, I'm going to have to jump in some more. Are you just sharing like specific tips?